Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Stand Your Ground Studio. This is Scott. Today I have an obvious one for you. So on your screen is a poster for a new movie coming out in May. It's called Money Monster, and you'll notice the log line, not every conspiracy is a theory. And if you've been watching my channel, you know exactly what I'm going to talk about. This is the elite coming out in plain sight with the truth, and they're getting ready to expose a lot of corruption in our near future. So I saw this and dove right in. Here's the synopsis. And George Clooney and Julia Roberts are in it, and George Clooney plays sort of like an investment guru on TV, and he's given some bad advice, so his show is hijacked live on the air. And during a tense standoff broadcast to millions on live TV, Lee and Patty must work furiously against the clock to unravel the mystery behind a conspiracy at the heart of today's fast-paced, high-tech global markets. Wasn't that very direct? So this is a drama all about exposing corruption in our money markets, which we all kind of know is there, but it's broadcast to millions on live TV, and that's what I'm talking about. We're going to broadcast this to as many people as possible. This is a prediction of what's coming. I even know from an earlier video I talked about how I just keep seeing it everywhere, even when I'm in line at the supermarket. So this is a tabloid I saw, caught my attention, and it puts a lot of really basic stuff about the secret societies and the Illuminati on the centerfold. So it talks about everything from JFK to Obama to the Antichrist. And it's a tabloid, and it's not that big of a deal. But a few days later, I see this piece right here all about conspiracy theories, and this cost more than a few bucks. This was like $13 or $14. So they put some effort into that one. And it's at the exact same time that the secret societies are coming out, and I was saying it's time for us to start talking about this. It's time for us to start noticing, no matter who you are. I was wondering why Ted Cruz was so obvious back in December. They're creating the illusion that Trump isn't a part of the club and that he doesn't really care, he doesn't need their money, and he's just going to kick the door down to their club and expose everything. But they're just getting very blatant with the imagery and the messaging that you can't miss it. So speaking of blatant messaging, take a wild guess what symbolism they want you to notice. So this is a convenient setup. George Clooney plays like a Jim Cramer type of investment guru on TV, and this is his set right here. And Ben Franklin's eye is a set piece, so it's in the background all the time, and they can conveniently set up every single shot so that it's in the background, staring down the audience. They really don't want you to miss this one. They want you to pick up on it. It kind of reminds me of how this has been staring you in the face this whole time. What's going on here is that the hijacker is sort of a John Q. Public who has been screwed over by bad financial advice. And right here, I think people are going to go in assuming this is sort of like a dramatic replay of 2008, where people got really bad advice. I think Jim Cramer was one of those people who gave bad advice. And that I've been talking a lot about parallels, with the 70s and the 60s and how they're going to use them to frame up our near future. 2008 is a perfect parallel. In fact, we haven't finished what happened in 2008, and that's what's coming, is the follow-through. So anyway, this guy holds Clooney hostage and forces the cameras back on, and it all has to be on the air. And they play a few snippets from this guy's tirade, and it's everything we talk about in the truther community. Check out this clip.
I might be the one with the gun here, but I'm not the real criminal. It's people like these guys. They're stealing everything from us, and they're getting away with it too. I'm telling you, it's rigged. They literally control the information.
So that's how deliberate they're being. And they're letting us know that the corruption is going to be revealed, and if you pay just a little bit of attention to this trailer, you'll notice that they tell you in plain English what's coming. So these title cards come up all throughout the trailer. If you put them in order, they say, "This year, the threat is rising, the truth is coming, the world is watching." And, I noticed they don't say, the movie comes out in May, and they don't say this May, they don't say this spring, they say this year. And I've noticed earlier videos that I've done, the first video I did on this channel, they were very specific about it being 2016 as the year, and that's the messaging I'm hearing. So we'll have to keep an eye out, but it seems like that's what they're telling us. And they go on to reveal who the enemy is, or to hint at who the enemy is. So here's the establishment listening to the broadcast, and they swoop in to act like they're going to take care of the situation. They actually start targeting George Clooney, because during that time, Julia Roberts and him, they have to start figuring out what they can do about this. And they have a hacker friend who says it's not the computer's fault, there are human fingerprints all over this, and they start showing you imagery like this. So the establishment, the system, or the machine is starting to be exposed, and they're trying to swoop in and prevent that from happening. And like I've been saying with programming like this, they really like to crash through the fourth wall and let you know that this is your world, this is our world that's coming. If you've noticed over the years, fiction is looking more and more like reality, and reality is looking more and more like fiction. And they're blending the two together so you can't really tell the difference between them. And here I noticed a visual. The situation goes out into the streets, people are clearing out of the way, and the movie camera advances on this news camera here, and it looks like our world and their world are staring into each other for a moment. Then the camera guy looks around him like, oh crap, I'm in the middle of this. And cut to a shot of how this is being projected all over America. And it reminds me of Mr. Robot, which had a very similar type of way of doing it, where everybody's out in the public and they're becoming very aware of the financial corruption that's in their midst, and they just want to expose it. And this character right here, one of the methods they have is he talks to you, the audience, but he accuses you of being part of the conspiracy. And they have a lot of methods of not really knowing what's real, who's real, are you real, am I real? The lines are being blurred constantly. So I just wanted to put that out there. You can watch the trailer yourself. It's pretty over the top, blatant with the imagery and the messaging. So like I've been saying, they're going to come out with corruption in plain sight. It's time for the establishment to get caught right before the system comes crashing down. And I've largely talked about the Bush administration because that's what was right in front of me when I started figuring this out. But they're not the only ones who are going to get caught. I mean, the financial institutions are pretty obvious too. And people in my life and all around me are starting to notice how insanely corrupt various pieces of our society have become. But they're waking up the way the elite want them to. And not only that, but truthers are asleep at the wheel too. And they're going to see the enemy in plain sight soon. They're going to want to lead the charge to take them down. But there's a pre-planned revolution coming. And the elite don't want any of the old institutions to remain standing when this is through. The truth is coming out in plain sight right now, but it's not. They're selling another lie. So only Christ can save you. That's what I always say. That's why I made this channel. Only Jesus Christ can save you. If you haven't already, please find him and accept him as your Lord and Savior. And if you're not quite ready for that, you can keep investigating the lies that's going on in the world right now. But I gotta warn you, the fuse is running short. We have to wake up as many people as possible the right way. And I've run on long enough. Please let me know what you think. Share this video, subscribe, get the conversation going. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.